So obviously, when you joined sort of Borough, did you know much about like the history of the club, like former players, or because obviously the last 10 years we've been in the Championship most of the time. So like, did you know much about the team?
I may be so wrong. No,
No,
nah,
be honest.
no,
It's all good. So
no.
who do you
I
support? Like,
didn't. You know, I didn't. I think the only time I remember Borough was when the only time the name became familiar was when I think it was the same year when I think it was the same year when Man United beat them at Old Trafford 2-1 in the comeback. I remember watching that game at home.
okay,
That's the
yeah.
yeah, that's the only time that Borough in my head, but I never knew them like before that. I never knew who Borough was. Like, I thought Borough was
Is
like
that when
a
like Pog? Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
is
thought
that when like
Borough was
Pogba
like
scored?
yeah the header.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
But
Borough
you
was
thought
like
Borough was what?
I thought Borough was like an hour away from London. I didn't know it was the other side of like
Yes, it's like
like
they're like
before that.
Scotland, Newcastle. Yeah.
I never knew where like Newcastle or you think I ever heard of Stockton on Tees or Teesside or I never heard of that. Never.
Never,
Never.
never, never, no, definitely, definitely. Um, so obviously you had the loan spell as well last season, St Johnstone. It wasn't great. I think you only played like a couple of like you're on the bench a lot. I think you only featured like once, then COVID happened. How did you see the experience for you?
It was a good experience, but I'll say the loan move wasn't the right move. It wasn't the right move just due to the fact that they played a system that didn't suit my game, and you got to take this on consideration. Bear in mind, the same year I've gone from non-league to championship team, now I'm going to Scottish Premier team. So I'm going from London to North, further up to North. So I'm it was just a weird one, man. I just didn't feel myself. I wasn't just being myself in training. I don't know. It's hard to put words how it just wasn't the right move. That's what I could say. Yeah, it just wasn't the right move for me.
So how come you joined St Johnston? St Johnston, were they like the only club that was interested in you, and you just wanted first team football, or was it a case of like you wanted to play at the highest level? Because obviously that's Scottish Premier, that's a decent division. I think the same league as like Celtic and Rangers and
Yeah.
teams like that. Or were there other clubs interested? Like, give a little background info.
Well, how the move came along was I remember day before deadline day, I got a call from I think it was Paul Stevenson, the ex 23 bar manager. He called me. I said hello. He's like, oh, it's Steve. I was like, you're at Steve. He's like, oh, I passed your name on to one of my good mates. You're Tommy Wright. Tommy Wright was the St Johnstone manager. Then I said, oh, I told him you're a good player in that, and they're looking for a winger. So I'm thinking, okay, we'll see what happens. So next day comes now. I walk training. Then Craig Liddle, the academy manager, pulled me in for a meeting around 9:30 in the morning, saying there's interest from Air United, the Scottish champ at the time, and St Johnson. But he said the St Johnson they just came in interest now, so we don't know what's gonna happen. So we'll keep up to date after training what happens. So I said fair enough. So I'm thinking at this point I'm probably not going to go on loan. At the time, I think Jonathan Woodgate didn't want me to go on loan. I think apparently. So that's why I know. So I've trained now, training done, about to have my lunch. Then one of the coaches said, "Oh, good luck with your loan move." So I'm thinking, like where am I going? Like I don't know where I'm going. And they said, "Oh, yeah, you're going to St Johnson." So I was thinking, okay, Scotland, Scottish Prem, looking at it thinking, it's a good move, you know. It's a very good move for my first year in professional football. And everyone wished me luck in that. But it was a crazy day, man. Crazy day. I was at the club till like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Had to get my boots, pack my stuff, and go up the next day. But yeah, it was basically, it wasn't last resort. I could have went 89, but I thought, let me go to Scottish Prem. But at this moment, I wasn't think. For me, I wasn't thinking right, man. I was thinking about that. That's the name, like what is bigger to go to, instead of like thinking, oh, where will I get more game time? Then, funny enough, my first game for St Johnstone was against Air United in the Scottish Cup. In the Scottish
Typical.
Cup, I came up. So before the game, the Air manager said to me, "Oh, Izzy, why didn't you come to us, man? You know we don't want you doing that." I just said, "Oh, things just went to the left, man. I just want to go to St Johnstone and try to test myself, see where I am and see where I'm at with my development." And even though I didn't play a lot at St Johnstone, I think I grow as a footballer. Like even not playing, not getting picked for games sometimes, like in training, it makes you want to go harder and improve your game to the next level. And I think even on my loan now, I think that them difficult times at St Johnstone's helped me a lot this season.
So, did that help you make your decision for your Queen of the South move? Then, like, did you like do a bit more research? Like, what other clubs were interested in you this January?
Yeah, it made me choose Queen of the South. You know, I had a couple of teams interested. You know, I think the likes of Queen of the South, Stevenage. Um, I can't remember the last two teams. I'm sorry about that, but I had other options, and me and Maiden, we was on the phone for like a good hour one time, and he was telling me just make sure this pick is the right pick for you, and make sure wherever you want to go, you get the most minutes as possible. We don't want another St. Johnstone situation. So I said 100%. We'll take our time in the window. You know, we've got plenty of time to pick a team. So I think so. I done a bit of research on each team, the way they played. Would it suit me? I think watching Queen of the South, I watched them a couple of times on YouTube. See how they played. Very direct wingers, counter attack. I'm thinking my attributes will suitable for this team. So I chose to go to Queen of the South to, you know, improve my game even more, and I'm doing that right now. So I'm just grateful for Bar let me go on loan to prove my showcase my ability, and I think I'm doing that right now, to be fair.
So, what about like next season? Like, is your plans to break into the first team at Borough, or are you looking to do another loan move? Because obviously, like this window, we bought in quite a few players. Since you've gone out on loan, we bought in, I think, Cabano, Balassi, Mendes Lang, all like similar type of wingers to you, which is something that we probably lacked. So, and obviously their contracts all going to run out at the end of the season. I think Balassi's only on loan, and so is Cabano, and then I think Mendes Lang only got a short-term sort of contract. So, do you see to yourself like this is a formation, this is a team that I can sort of get into, or do you think you need another loan move to get a little bit more experience?
Next season I'm going to preseason this year thinking I can play for Middlesbrough. You know, my mentality is I want to play in the championship. I think I'm good enough to play in the championship, but if it comes to a point I have to go on another loan move to get toughened up or get more experience, I don't mind doing either. But my aim is to break into the first team. That's my aim. Since I've joined the club, I want to be playing first team at Middlesbrough. You know, like I think some under 23 coaches can tell you that I get frustrated training 23 sometimes because I know I'm good enough to avoid the train first team or playing the first team environment. But well, yeah, that's my mentality. I want to break into the first team next season. You know, if it's not the case, I'll buy my time, wait my time. If the gaffer wants to keep me around the squad and count me when it's necessary, I'm ready whenever. But if I have to go on loan again, I'll just make sure I pick the right loan move pick the right loan move for my development, to get game time and show the gaffer what I can really do.
So would you say it's better to go out on loan? Because obviously there's quite a few under 23s players. I think quite a few of the lads like Ramon's gone to Bradford. I think he's been in and out of the team. Woody the same at Crew. Do you think going out on loan and not playing is more beneficial than playing for the 23s?
Yeah, 100%. Going alone, like going alone is it's so different to 23s football. 23s football, you're playing against kids roughly your age, you know, they're not physically like big or short. When you go on loan, you're going into a man's game. You're going to people that are trying to pay off mortgages and etc. You know, you're going to like a real man game. Like they don't care about you. They just want their 3 points, go home, back to their families, go again the following week. You know, so I think it's 100%. I think for young players, like, it's me, Rahman, Woody, or Steve to go on loan because we've got to be the play when we. I think you need to go on and develop up your mindset, your physicality, and also like the way you think on the pitch. You know, because you're going to get grown men that have been in the game for nearly like 10 years, nearly 10 years. You know, like you see people like 33 the experience in the game, and you're like a new breed of 2019. You're a new breed. You know, so like it's different. You know, you just got to think differently when you're on loan. You know, so I think going on loan is the right thing to do. Someone playing 23 football because I think in 23 football you can shine as much as you want. You can score what 15 goals in 10 games. But the real question is, can you do it on a Saturday where it really counts? You need the 3 points.
No,
So
definitely. Yeah. And obviously, I think one of the lads from the 23s, Conor Malley's gone out on loan, not really played, but obviously now he's come back to the 23s, done okay. We've had a few injuries, and now he's training like with the first team. And I think the gaffer says he might like feature with the first team and stuff. So do you kind of wish that last season, if it wasn't for like COVID, maybe you could have like got recalled from like your loan and maybe been like on the bench or whatever for the last sort of few games?
yeah, 100%. You know, I think COVID came at a point where I think I was really about to kick on at St Johnstone. I think when COVID came out, I got into my element. Like I felt like I belong here. Because after like, it took me like a month to settle in because I'm far away from home, like far away from home. I'm in Perth. I'm in Perth. You know, I never heard of Perth in my life. You know, like mad. But I'm other side of the map basically. I'm just trying to settle in. So it took me like a good month to settle in. And after that month, I remember the gaffer saying to me, "Oh, we got Hibs coming up. I want to start you against Hibs." So I was going to start. My first game was St Johnstone. So I remember was on training pitch, just doing shape, whatnot, getting ready for the game. When the gaffer comes down saying, "Oh, the game's cancelled." Then from there, the season got cancelled because of COVID, which is understandable because people's health is bigger than football. At the time, it was because the world never experienced something like this before.